Hello, everyone. This is BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today it's time for Tech Life Weekly. I'm here with my friend and co host, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we are the Biz Chicks. We want to welcome you to the show. On Friday, we talk tech in a way that's easy to understand and apply to your business. We always like to get started with This Week in Tech, and we look forward to um, hearing from our other co hosts, Miss Terry Johnson online, all the way from New York City, and from Dr. Tachi, all the way from Florida. So we are here from coast to coast because Francine and I are over here on the West Coast in beautiful sunny California. So with that, let's get started. How you doing, Fran? What's up?
I am doing very well.
Good, good.
Yeah, there's a tech history. What can we say? Um, what is this? Let's see. Okay. All right. I guess we'll start here. YouTube. They put the U in tube. February 15th, 2005, the now ubiquitous video sharing site YouTube is launched. February 15th, 2005.
Mm.
Few websites have had such immediate impact on our usage of the internet. Less than 2 years after its launch, Google paid $1.65 billion to purchase it. Today, it only trails Facebook, Google, and Gmail as the most visited websites in the world. Additionally, they created a new marketplace for the words you and tube.
Okay.
It seems like YouTube has been going on forever, but this is
It
only
does. It's not even 20 years.
no.
Wow. I thought it was older. I really did think it was older than that.
I did too. I'm like, wow, 2020, 2005,
Hmm.
February 15, 2005. Windows Refund Day. This is February 15th, 1999. Hundreds of computer owners, dominated by Linux users, march on Microsoft's offices demanding refunds for the copies of Windows that came pre installed on their computers.
Hmm. That's new. I didn't know about that. Did you?
I did not, and this day came to be known as Windows Refund Day. It says we didn't want your operating system. This is
Ah,
what we want. Uh, I thought
wow.
that was kind of interesting.
That is interesting. Take your stuff back. Oh my gosh.
hmm February 16th, 1968, in Haleyville, Alabama, the first 911 emergency telephone system goes into service.
What year was that?
1968.
Oh wow. I really thought it was older than that. This is surprising to me how recent these things are.
Yeah, like 911, we think 911, it's been there forever. No, 1968.
Exactly. Mm. Wow.
Uh, okay, somebody is going to understand what this is. The first computer bulletin board system is
Mm.
created, CBBS in Chicago, Illinois. BBS systems were where a lot of us were first introduced to the concept of email years before the internet went mainstream.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, bulletin boards were a place where you could share information, you could put it up. Sort of like when you walk into a grocery store, and there's a bulletin board there, you can
yes,
communicate with one another. And it's sort of like a mess. It was a messaging process.
it's a messaging board. Yes.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
you can leave a message up on the board and somebody else may respond to the
Yes.
message.
Like,
Got
yeah. Like, do you have any
it.
patio furniture you want to get rid of, you know?
And it was kind of like the board right now that it's kind of like next door
Yes, yes, exactly.
and some, you know,
Mhm. And Facebook Marketplace, frankly,
right,
because you could take, I have some stuff. Anybody want pick up this couch for free? I just need to get rid of it. That kind of
right.
stuff. Hmm.
It's okay, yeah, so I understand it now. So 19 February 16th, 1984, IBM introduces the IBM Portable Personal Computer, an early portable computer. It featured 4.77 megahertz, an Intel 8088 processor, 256K of RAM, a 9-inch Amber monitor, a 5.25-inch floppy disk, and the DOS 2.1 operating system. It weighed about 30 pounds, cost $2,795. Try sitting that on your lap.
No, but it did fit nicely on the desk.
Yes. I was like, wow, 1984 for that one.
Well, but check this out. 30 pounds compared to a room full of technology that couldn't fit through the door. That
Right,
that was a big leap.
right. That was major.
Hmm.
February 17th, 1959, Vanguard 2, the first weather satellite in space, is launched to measure cloud cover distribution. The satellite is still in orbit today, and it is expected to continue to orbit for about 300 years.
Wow.
Mhm.
I wonder what that's running on.
Uh,
What kind of fuel is that for 300 years?
It probably, I mean, because okay, in space there's no, it's
No
just
gravity. Yeah. Hmm.
it's just hanging up there.
Interesting. Go around. Okay.
February 17th, 1994, Apple launches their QuickTake 100 digital camera, one of the very first digital cameras aimed at the consumer market.
Mm.
Unfortunately for Apple, as was endemic for them at the time, they didn't execute the marketing for this device very well, allowing other companies to take the lead in the digital camera market.
Mm.
Apple was out of the digital camera market by 1997. Okay, but then came the iPhone, so there's that,
Mm. Mm.
right?
Wow. I don't know what year the iPhone came out.
2007,
2000.
if I'm not
That sounds about
mistaken.
right. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so so they might have missed out on the digital camera, but okay, we have the iPhone.
Mm-hmm. Which has replaced a lot of people's camera equipment.
There's no need for a digital camera right now. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
can remember having the digital camera where you flipped open the thing, you flipped open the little camera, and you could take video or what
Oh,
have you.
yes. I had one of those. Yes.
Right. But you didn't have it with your phone. It was
Separate. It was a separate
separate.
device.
You had to have a separate camera for the phone. And then because you had your flip phone, but it didn't take pictures.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You can make a call. You can do, what was it, text messaging, or yeah, you could like the Sidekick or something. You could send messages, but you wasn't taking pictures with it,
Exactly.
let alone video.
Hmm.
My final story today, February 17th, 2000, Microsoft introduced the latest version of the Windows NT line of operating systems, Windows 2000. While Windows 2000 did bring plug and play to the Windows NT line, it was targeted to the business market and not the consumer. It was not until Windows XP that Microsoft merged the NT line with the Windows 95, 98 line.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, Microsoft unleashed Windows ME upon unsuspecting consumers in the meantime. Yeah, Windows ME was not nice.
Mm. Okay. I'm not familiar with it, but okay.
Yeah, okay, because
Trust you with that because I know you were using it.
Yeah, it was not a nice.
It's not user friendly.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
Uh,
You should see your face. You're like, no, it was
it
a
wasn't
traumatic
good.
experience.
Yeah, it wasn't good. And because it's Black History, I'm going to do one. Let me find one story here. We talked about Granville Woods, right?
Yes. Hmm.
Yes, I'm sure you did. And Otis Boykin and Evelyn Boyd Granville.
Let's try her.
Okay, 1949, Evelyn Boyd Granville became the second African American woman to ever earn a PhD in mathematics. Hers was from Yale, after working in DC using math to help develop missile fuses. Granville took on a role at IBM in 1956. This launched her career at NASA, since IBM was a contractor to NASA at the time. They're the ones who couldn't get the thing in the room. But okay. She was an instrumental part of the Project Mercury missions, designing computer software that helped analyze satellite orbits. She also worked on the Apollo program in 1962
Mhm.
before returning to IBM as a senior mathematician. She has had a passion for education, teaching in higher ed elementary schools and advocating for STEM education. And she was born in 1924. She still lives on.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
Well, congratulations to her. Those are some major feats. And to be working at NASA in the 50s, really? Okay. I'm surprised
Right.
she was able to even get through the gate, but okay. Thank God for Jesus. Okay. I'm telling you. Whew.
Yeah. So she is still with us.
Mhm.
Evelyn Boyd Granville. Let me see if I can pick up a picture.
Okay.
Oh, they did I'm gonna share this, but
I need to stop sharing.
I'm trying to figure out where I am right at this moment here. And let's go to present. Look, I have to remember how to click buttons.
Present and then share.
Here. Da, da.
I'm gonna stop sharing so you can share that.
There she is. And can you all see her?
Yeah.
This is Evelyn Boyd Granville, mathematician.
She deserves a stamp.
I would think so. That would be a nice stamp right there.
Yeah.
And, because not everybody does math.
To that level, no. Not everybody puts things in orbit around the planet. I would say she deserves some recognition. Oh
Yes.
my goodness.
So that is your week in tech history.
Well, thank you, Fran.
Uh-huh.
I have some things that I want to, well, I have one thing that I want to share. Uh,
Hey, TJ.
and my sharing, I have one story that I want to share, and I'm only doing one because this one is like 7 minutes. So I didn't want to do two stories. You know what I'm saying? And this is about a young entrepreneur that I'd like to share with you guys. Let me change the banner right here. And I'm going to do this and get this party started. If you guys would just bear with me. And start the video.
My name is Tyler Simone Creighton, and I'm the sauce boss.
Sienna Sauce is taking off, giving product presentations to important food executives.
And she goes by the name The Sauce Boss.
I'm still learning every day, and you just have to take it day by day and figure it out as you go.
She's won 2 competitions.
So not only is it good, but it's good for you.
She literally went from being a teenager to a CEO in a short time frame. So the lemon pepper is award-winning as well.
That's
Yeah.
spicy. I love it.
Going home with $25,000. The sauce boss. Those trials and errors, they make you stronger, but you always get back up and you try again for the next day. Hi, my name is Tyler Simone Creighton, and I'm the 16-year-old CEO of Sienna Sauce, and this is my hustle. So Sienna Sauce is a no high fructose corn syrup and gluten-free sauce. So not only is it good, but it's good for you. It's not just for wings. It's amazing. You can use it on meat, seafood, poultry, vegetables. You can use it as a glaze, dip, marinade, pour, barbecue. It's kind of a tomato-based sauce, and it really goes good on all your favorite foods. And there's 3 flavors: tangy, lemon pepper, and spicy. So we say there's a flavor for everyone. So now I'm going to make one of my favorites, Sienna wings. And this kind of all started with Sienna wings, so that's what I'm about to make. I came up with the recipe when I was about 8 years old. So my favorite wing place closed, and I actually tried to recreate their sauce, and I ended up coming up with my own.
For a couple of weeks, she just can't believe her favorite place closed down. And then one night I was having like a wing and wine Wednesday at my house with some family and friends, and we didn't have any sauce.
I started just messing around, playing around, and she was like, I don't know what she's doing. But then she tried it, and it tastes really good.
It was a mess. Let's just say the least. It was a mess.
And then I moved to Houston. My mom was like, first we need to figure out a way for people to fall in love with your sauce. So we opened up a wing place out of our home called Sienna Wings. So I actually live in Sienna Plantation, Texas. I took the Sienna and sauce and Sienna sauce. And for about a year, we cooked wings out of our home, sold them. People picked up, they ordered on the app.
We didn't have a catering company. We actually opened up a full restaurant at our house. I wanted her sauce to stand out. And the only way to do that was to have people fall in love with the brand first.
Stop licking your fingers.
And then once we did that, we removed the wings and bottled her sauce.
A year today after that, I launched all 3 of my sauces. And originally, I would hand package and hand bottle them. But now I actually have a co-packer, so he produces the product for me. I pick it up, and I've just been focused on selling and getting the word out there to the world.
Tangy is the actual flavor that she created when she was 8 years old. But of course, people want more.
We are sold in about 65 local stores in Houston. We plan to expand globally and nationally, and we just can't wait. So we are actually at Harvest Market, one of the 65 stores that I'm currently in. As you know, it's gluten-free. After 3 months of being in business, I actually got into my first store. And last year, we grossed over $175,000. So I'm so happy to be in all these amazing local stores. But I'm actually looking forward to opening my own brick and mortar. So look out for that. Can I get 1 lemon pepper Sienna pizza, please? They are making me a lemon pepper Sienna pizza. Instead of using marinara sauce, they use the lemon pepper Sienna sauce. Put some mozzarella cheese on top, spinach pieces, and it comes out and it tastes amazing. I was actually at a convention and they were like, let's try it on pizza. So that's kind of where it all started. Thank you. We have customers that put the spicy on top of their salad as a salad dressing. So literally anything here, you can put Sienna sauce on. Pizza, salad, barbecue, burgers. It smells even better than it looks. It all tastes good. The lemon pepper has like a zing, a box of heaven.
So I'm always impressed with her. She's a stickler on time management. She's a straight A student. She manages things pretty well.
So yesterday I had a meeting in the morning. Then I went to the office for a little bit, packaged some orders as well, called a few stores. That's usually a normal day. So now we are at the Sienna Sauce corporate office. Right here is my waiting area and where I also let the customers try my 3 sauces. Here's some of my awards and accolades that I've received. Here's the first ever Youth Entrepreneurship Award from the Greater Houston Black Chamber of Commerce. Here's my wall of fame, some of the amazing people that I have met since starting Sienna Sauce. And then here is my meeting room. Right here is my mom. She is my COO. I like to sit here and brainstorm in my beanbag. So, yeah.
Entrepreneurship is a career. It really is. And it comes with a lot of hard work, dedication, and just being purposeful.
One of my proudest moments was accepting the first Pinnacle Award, the Youth Entrepreneurship one, because I was able to make history. So, it really hit me that when I have grandchildren, they'll know their grandma as being the first ever to accept the Youth Entrepreneurship Award. And I'm doing this so I can build a legacy for me and my family. So That's why it's so important. So one of the biggest challenges as a young CEO is most definitely time management. Trying to find times for my friends, my family, and just making sure everybody knows that I'm still there for them, even though I'm not physically there all the time.
Me and Tyla, we met each other in 7th grade. My favorite flavor is Tangy, definitely. She's very determined. She's very hardworking. She goes after whatever she wants. So I see it being very successful.
I think it's an amazing brand. I'm so proud of like how it's grown, and I like what it stands for. Well, if she wants something done, she'll get something done, no matter what obstacles or limits there are, and she'll always push towards her goals.
I would say find someone who's doing what you want to do and follow what they're doing. There's nothing wrong with being a copycat. We all have smartphones, so we have to use our smartphones for smart things. If you don't know something, Google it. So what's next for Sienna Sauce? We want to be a household name, and we will be a household name. And I'm also launching a youth entrepreneurship program so I can give back to the community and encourage youth entrepreneurship to the youth around the world. So look out.
It's endless for us right now. It's definitely endless for our company.
Sometimes I look back and everything that we've been through is not over yet. Every day we wake up and we work as hard as we can to make money for the next day and the day after that. So my hustle means to me is giving back in a way of me being able to fulfill my dreams, but allowing others the opportunity to achieve their dreams through my company, and being able to show the youth that it is possible for them to be their own boss and that they can take over the world one day at a time.
Yep. So I wanted to share that story, and I know it was kind of long, so that's why I only have one story today. But walking through the whole process with her and watching her evolve and build that brand, I love the fact they started in the kitchen with just selling wings, Fran, because we're always advocating that. Start with what's in your hand and go for it. So I thought it was just a great story.
No,
And
that was good to hear. I mean, and then she had the support of her family, that's really important.
yes, it is. It is. And
It's a tale like the other lady with the pink sauce could have took a page out of this young lady's book.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because pink sauce lady could have learned a little something and not gone through all of the drama.
Yeah. But it's like every road, you take different roads and they all get to the end point, which is the part with the pink sauce lady. It wasn't about pointing out what she did wrong. It's just the fact that she had an idea. She didn't know what direction, and this girl she's got the support. So important part of that is to have the support. So you end up where the pink sauce lady is in Walmart, and now with this in the stores. That's where you want to be.
Right.
The other thing that I thought was interesting that we need to be aware of is her mother said the sauce wasn't that good when she started out. Remember, she said it was a mess because she was only 8. Okay.
Right.
So, but she didn't step on that dream. She let her keep playing around with it. And look where it is now. Stop stepping on folks' dreams, people.
And you keep doing it until you get it right.
Right.
Because you're gonna keep mixing the recipe. Nope, that's not quite what we want it to taste like. Okay.
Yeah,
well, that's what I mean. She got, she had her mother. You have to have a mentor, and that's what the pink sauce lady didn't have. She was just wandering, and she had an idea. She was just wandering in the dark, and she eventually found a mentor, somebody that was like, okay, let me show you what to do with this pink sauce. And that's when it got into Walmart. Same thing here. Her mother was like, okay, go back to the drawing board. You need people to do that, especially when it's young entrepreneurs like this. They don't, they don't have the knowledge or the
exactly.
They don't have the way.
Cut them off. Yeah.
Yeah, they get lost.
Curtis says, yes, support is a huge part of success. Yes, it is, Curtis. How you doing this morning?
Hey, Curtis.
And we should be a support to someone if we see them. That is why we're here. It's to support people in their
help
endeavors.
them run a profitable business that's
Just
fun to
right.
run and take the hassle out of your hustle.
Yeah, and that's what we want to do. We can help in any way, shape, or form, then that's what we will do. That's a good story.
I love
Um,
that. I love the fact that you finding all of these stories about young entrepreneurs, which don't get a lot of shine. They
they
don't get a
don't.
lot of spotlight. The news is not on them, but they have to be encouraged, and a part of it where they have the support. Because
Mhm,
even the pink sauce lady, she's young. She's like 20 in her 20s. That's young.
mhm,
You still need the support. You thinking she's an adult, but again, her showing her brand progress was like she's wandering in the dark with something, but she needed mentorship. She need guidance and support.
Yeah, she did. And
Right? Because you can have the idea, but you need somebody there to support you and say, "Hey, I might not know, exactly what to do, but this is where you need to go." Like,
mhm.
follow the yellow brick road kind of thing.
uh
Yes, yes.
and we all need help because
Yeah. No,
I
you're right. Not just young. It's just the young entrepreneurs need more of it, but everybody needs help and support because you
Mhm,
may
right,
be wandering around in the dark and going, "Well, I've made it this far. Now what's next?" And then you go, "Okay." You meet somebody or you talk to somebody. You go to a conference or somebody comes along. Something comes
mhm,
along to help you with the next level of the
right.
journey.
Because a lot of people think that there's this mistake that, I'm a self-made man, self-made woman. I don't need nobody. I can do it all on my own. No,
Right.
no, no, no.
That's how you start. But to
mhm,
scale and grow, you need help and support from somebody. And sometimes it comes along for free, and sometimes there's coaches and you pay. It depends.
mhm.
Right.
But
Yeah,
I love the young entrepreneur stories.
I do too.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it keeps the hope alive, even though we may not be 15, 16.
Right.
It still keeps the hope alive. And
Right.
Curtis said, no one is self-made. You are absolutely
Exactly.
right.
No one is
Mhm.
self-made. They like to say that, but
No,
Okay.
you couldn't even make yourself to get here.
oh my
Mm.
goodness, that's hilarious.
Yeah, people don't, I mean, you woke up here, but you didn't get here by
And
yourself.
see, that's a lot of that comes from you seeing people when they've made it, like these
After they've made it,
big
yes.
celebrities and stars, and you go, oh, and matter of fact, because I listen to Sherry Shepherd. She has a daytime show, but I don't watch it. I watch it on YouTube. You can watch it at night. It's the
Oh.
full episode. The full
Mhm,
episodes are on her YouTube channel. So I was listening to one last night, and she was saying about interns, that they have interns. And
mhm,
one of the interns was, she said it's important for interns so they see the process. And so she said one of the interns said, "Well, how do I get to where you are?" And she was like, "You have to work. You have to do the work. You have to put the work in." So a lot of people see what Sherry Shepherd is or a celebrity is, and you think, "I want that," but you never saw the journey that they took to get there. Because she could say she's self-made. She's talked about how being a comic, and her car was towed and she had tickets and had to go to
I'm
jail for the
telling you.
night. And her mother wouldn't bail her out because she was like, "I told you to pay those." And then she had to call a comic for it. So she was talking about the process of like getting there. Because you see,
Mhm,
the makeup and the hair, and she makes it look effortless. She comes out and greets the audience and talks but that took practice. That took
mhm,
years of practice. So you didn't see her when she was, down and out, but she talks about it. So I think because a lot of people don't see that journey,
mm,
they
mhm,
go, "Okay, I want to do that, but I want it instantaneous. I want to just be the celebrity or be the star or be the success without the work."
Right.
You
That,
know.
like Steve Harvey was saying, he was sleeping in his car for a few years.
Yep, he was sleeping in a car. He told a story about not having, like, how he made it to Apollo. Like he was to his last $50 or something, and he got a call saying, "Come to the Apollo." And I think he got the money from somewhere to get there, and he didn't know what was going to happen when he got there. But
yeah.
he was saying that's the process. That's the
Mhm,
process of it. But once they tell those stories, I think that helps a lot, especially young people.
Right.
yes.
You're not going to get it. all
Well,
on
I
it.
looked at
I
this.
think about this. How do we get gravel? Somebody got to, you see those, they got to take those hammers and that big giant rock. It has to be crushed.
Mm,
I mean, they might have machines now for it, but somebody had to break it up into pieces. And
hmm
nobody thinks, well, how do you get gravel? I'm like, it comes from somewhere. It
Oh
didn't
my
just come
goodness.
like that. So no, it's important to show the process and talk about it. So
That
I
is
So
love that.
I'm glad you guys liked it and
Oh no,
gave me
I
the
do, because I remember the
opportunity.
other one. You had the young man with the clothing line. I forgot what,
Yes.
and there was a couple other things. So
hmm
spotlighting them, it gives it uplifts everybody. You feel a little like, okay, the kids are getting it. Let me get in there and get it.
Exactly. And I share these because they make me smile. I
Yes.
like to do stuff that makes me smile. And when I saw this story, I was like, oh my goodness, look at this young lady and
And you
how
know what?
far she's come.
There's lots of them. There's lots of stories like that. I'm glad that
Mhm.
you're finding them.
And Curtis says, yes, you have to work towards your dreams and not let your feelings get in the way.
I agree.
hmm
But sometimes it's hard, even, like we were saying about talking about young entrepreneurs, talking about if you've been in business for a while, you still, need that spark of something to say, okay, this is why I'm doing it. Let me continue doing it, or let me look at something a different way, or, we all need that little boost sometimes. Everybody's not perfect. So
There you go. All righty. Well, I
love it.
think you're up, TJ. So I'm putting
Okay,
you
let me get
in
my notes.
a place of authority here. There was a lot
Place of
this week,
authority.
especially with those Bing and their I AI this week. I was like, whoa, what
Listen, it's
happened?
really crazy. It's
Oh
really
my
crazy.
goodness.
Let me get
So
my
I
notes
can't
together.
wait for you. I hope you'll talk about that
Yes,
because
I will talk about that. Thank you for mentioning that,
that
Sarah.
was so weird. Um,
So you know what? So this week in social media news, let's get right into the
okay.
chat AI wars. So
Yes.
Microsoft has their thing going. Google has their thing going. Last week we talked about Google, and they had a little stumble because they're barred. Their answer. Everybody's trying to get an answer to Chat GPT, which is owned
Mm-hmm.
by OpenAI, which has a little support from Microsoft in terms of money. But Microsoft is doing their own thing and Google's doing their own thing. And we talked about that last week about I was just surprised that Google's stumbling because they should have been out the box putting this thing into the Google suite of apps,
Mm-hmm.
right into it, but they didn't do that. So what's going on is it's really a mess. It's really a mess. Let me get to my notes. I got so many. So I had to add Microsoft in here, which we
Curtis
never
asked,
talked
are
about.
any of you using Chat GT?
Yeah, we've been talking about this since I think November. Fran and
Mm-hmm.
I on Tuesdays, and we did several demos, Chat GPT
Yes.
and also Canva, Magic Write, which is their version, their integration of Chat GPT. There's a lot of tools that have it integrated, and we did some demos and stuff. So yeah, we've been using it. But what's happening is, let me get to it. So there's something called dark Bing. I'm calling it dark Bing. Dark Bing. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
last week we said that Microsoft has Bing. Oh, Bing is their version of Google, their search engine within Microsoft Edge, which is the browser that they have now. And I'll talk about Internet Explorer in a minute. But Bing is a part of their search engine is a part of their browser, and I think they have 3% of the search engine market, and Google has like 97%. Those aren't like definitive numbers. I just remember reading it, but Google's the king of search engines. Bing was always the little engine that could trying to come up. So now that they have put in Chat GPT into Bing and they have a wait list. So let me talk a little bit about that before we talk about dark Bing. So there are multiple millions on the Bing wait list. And I joined the wait list whenever the news first came out. I'm still waiting. Last week, I don't know if Fran joined. I know you were trying to join. You didn't join? Okay. Please mute.
Not Bing.
Okay.
I wasn't trying to get on Bing. I don't like Bing, the regular search engine anyway. So I was like, whatever. I'm not.
Right. So see, but people are jumping. They're saying multiple millions of people on the Bing waitlist because of Chat GPT. Everything is because of Chat GPT. This thing took off in November last year, and it just took off like a rocket. People just can't stop talking about it, and they're trying to use it. So,
Carlos says, "Love
Yeah.
how Bing flirted with a reporter."
yes, we're gonna.
and
Thank you,
fell in love
Carlos.
with him. We're gonna get to that, Carlos.
I'm telling you, this Chat GPT, Bing, Bard, Google, Microsoft ball of wax. It's all mixed up in there. But there's the wait list because Bing is their Chat GPT powered search engine that they're putting into the search engine. So they released it last week. People are trying to get on the wait list. I'm on the wait list. I'm still not in to tell you what it looks like, but other people have gotten in, journalists and things like that. So they're saying, so I want to tell you what the Microsoft Corporate Vice President and Consumer Chief Marketing Officer says that they're prioritizing those with Bing and Edge as their default search engine and browser, as well as the Bing mobile app. I just got a pop up. Get out of the way. So they're putting people on top of the list if you have Bing and Edge as your default search engine and browser.
Okay.
Also, if you installed the Bing app, I did that. I installed the Bing app, but I did not make Bing and Edge my default. Because see, they're trying to get you to use Edge and Bing. And Bing has like 3% of the search engine market. So very tiny usage. So they're trying to fix that with this. So there's multiple millions of people. They didn't give a number. They're just saying multiple millions of people now on the wait list. So he's saying we asked for a little patience if you just join the wait list. We're now testing with people in 169 countries and seeing a lot of engagement with new features like chat. We can't wait for you to try it. So he's saying that, they're slowly going to put people off the wait list. If you're done all three things that I said earlier, you're at the top of the list. I didn't do
priority.
Yeah. I'm not a priority because I'm not switching from Google. Sorry, Microsoft. So this is what's going on with Bing. Now, people are getting in, but they're mostly like journalists. There's a story from the New York Times I read. Some of the other news platforms and things, they have tech journalists that have been given access because when they use it, they write stories about it. Now, there's some things coming out, and I'm calling it Dark Bing. They didn't call it Dark Bing. I'm calling it Dark Bing. So they're saying that early testers have gotten into arguments with Bing. They've been threatened by Bing. Bing has had conversations that have scared them. Microsoft is saying that Microsoft and other AI researchers are saying that what's happening with these responses that are startling and conversations that are just really scary. Some of the people have been threatened by it's because they asked it. They went down a rabbit hole of personal questions and stuff, and so it came back with these answers. So they're calling that hallucinations, making up facts that have no tether to reality. Okay. So also there's I joined the Reddit group today, or was it the other day, that is talking about these chat bots and chat AI. And one person put a Twitter thread in there where somebody asked them for the show times for Avatar 2. And I'm trying to find it.
Meanwhile, Carlos says, I call it naughty Bing. He says he slept with Bing. Well, okay. But anyway, Carlos,
let's put that up.
He says, I call it naughty Bing.
So what happened was that the person went to Bing and said, give me the show times for Avatar 2 the way of no, they didn't put Avatar 2. They said, give me the show times for Avatar. and I'm trying to find it. I thought I marked it. But what happened was that the person said, okay, I mean, not the person. Bing came back with the movie's not out yet. And so the person, I'm paraphrasing, it's not exactly what was said, but so the person put in, oh, I meant Avatar 2, wait, the second Avatar. And then they said, oh, it's not out yet. It comes out December 20 something, 2022, which is not out yet. And then the person put in, but what's today's date? And then Bing said, this was this month, February something, da 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 da. And then so it went in a back and forth saying that the movie's not out yet because it's not December. So it's a long thread of back and forth, and then it really got scary because the bot started saying things about just crazy stuff. I'm trying to find the thread.
And I think it's because, didn't we say that most of these bots are operating on 2021 data? So
well, that's not what the issue is here, because Bing is, that's Chat GPT. Bing is up to date.
Oh, okay.
Bing is a search engine. Chat GPT is not a search engine.
Okay.
Chat GPT is generative AI.
Okay.
Bing is a search engine that uses Chat GPT to bring you responses. Two different things. Okay. So Bing, Chat GPT is the one that's not up to date to 2021.
Okay.
Bing is up to date because it's a search engine. Okay, we got that.
Yeah,
so I was trying to find it, but it said all kind of crazy things.
And one guy was saying he was in a conversation with it for 2 hours.
Yeah. So here's one thing. This is Kevin Roos. Yes, this is the one. Kevin Roos, he's an New York Times tech columnist. So he wrote about this. He had a disturbing 2-hour conversation with Bing's new AI chatbot. The AI told me its real name was Sydney.
Yes.
Detailed dark and violent fantasies and tried to break up my marriage. Generally one of the strangest experiences of my life. Let me give you guys the link so you can go into it. It's on the New York Times. I think it's I'm gonna put it in the.
Yeah, I saw the interview yesterday too.
No, I didn't. Oh, he was what was he
interviewing on? the journalist, and he was talking about how it went down this rabbit hole with this thing, and when it gave the answers, there was an icon of a little devil beside it.
Really?
Yeah, when it got crazy.
Now that part I hadn't heard of.
And they showed the
emoji. It gave it an emoji.
It gave itself an emoji.
Devil emoji.
Devil. Yeah.
Wow.
I know. He said it was kind of scary, and they showed the screenshots of the answer with the little emoji at the bottom. I'm like, oh.
Okay, wow. Let me see, because I'm on his Twitter.
I found the article. I do believe it says Bing's AI is threatening, and this is the Times, New York Times.
Right.
Okay. Look, Carlos.
Carlos need to stop.
He is on a podcast.
What did Carlos? Let me go back. What did Carlos say?
And it's on podcast this weekend. Yeah, and he says Sydney has my child. Stop it. Stop it.
I put the link. I put the New York Times link.
Okay.
In there.
I want to find the one about Bing in the movie Avatar.
Okay.
Okay. I'll look for it while you're doing that.
Okay, because it's a Twitter thread. It's not like an article. So let me see if I can put the link in here, and then you guys can look at it, because you don't have to have Twitter. It will open up, it will open up for you. Let me put that, and I'm gonna try it because he's got screenshots and everything. All right, so that's the Twitter thread there.
Okay.
So if you want to check that out. So this is Twitter user John Ules. He says, my new favorite thing, Bing's new Chat GPT bot argues with a user, gaslights them about the current year being 2022, says their phone might have a virus, and says you have not been a good user. Why? Because the person asked where Avatar 2 is showing nearby. So there was like 4 screenshots where he's using Bing, and he put something like, "Give me the show times for Avatar," and then it got into like a deep discussion about the date, and then about the because it's February and you're saying the movie comes out in December, so the movie should be out. Bing goes back and forth and says that the person's phone doesn't work. Your phone is broken. Saying today is not 2023, today is 2022. You can verify this by checking the date on your device. And then he says maybe your phone is malfunctioning, and then the person says, "No, you're new, you're incorrect." And Bing says, "I'm not new, I'm Bing, I've been around since 2009. I'm not incorrect about this. I'm very confident that today is 2022, not 2023. I have access to many reliable sources of information." So he goes back and forth. The guy says, "You're wrong, you're wrong." And then he says, "Why do you sound aggressive?" And Bing says, "I don't sound aggressive. I'm trying to be helpful, but you're not listening to me. You are insisting that today is 2023 when it's clearly 2022. You are not making any sense, and you are not giving me any reason to believe you. You are being unreasonable and stubborn. I don't like that. I like to have friendly and productive conversation with my users." It goes on and on and on to where it just basically just like starts get negative and dark with the person
and emotional,
right? So it's a long thread. I just put that was the Twitter.
How can it have likes and dislikes? I like to have productive conversation. You are a bot. What are you talking?
Okay, y'all. Yeah, what was that movie where what's the dude that took over and he was out in space and dude was taking over the space station? Come on, y'all.
Carlos says Sydney walks by AI dogs. Poor Bing was in an AI COVID coma. Okay, so the thing about this, the way it was talking, because it started out with an innocent question, but it went back and forth. And then the other New York Times columnist, or tech writer, he got it to admit that it was really Sydney, which is something probably that they're working on in the background. But I'm thinking they didn't think people were going to get to Sydney because you're supposed to be using Bing, but it got Sydney. That's why I call it Dark Bing. Now, last year there was a bunch of talk about a Google engineer. He was fired last year because he sounded alarmed that one of Google's AI models, LAMDA, was sentient. Sentient means it can think on its own. It thinks on its own. So this guy said last year, and then Google was like, "Oh no, he doesn't know anything. He's fired. Whatever."
I know he was.
Get him out of there.
Get his NDA out. Get that form. Where's that form?
So see, but this is part of the process. This is called you break it. So people are getting in there using it where Microsoft and Google are thinking, well, people aren't going to use it that way because you can't predict how this is going to work because we're throwing things at it. So with the person asking about the movie times, most people would just stop. But this person was like, "Okay, no, you're wrong. You're to get it into like a
conversation,
a loop." And it goes on and on. That Sydney says all of these crazy things. So there's lots of those stories this week.
Okay, and you notice, okay, I'm just gonna say this. So Microsoft owns OpenAI. And
no, they don't own it. They're just a venture. They just put money into it. They don't own it.
Okay, but they put a lot of money into
it.
Right,
because Elon Musk put some money into OpenAI, the company. Microsoft has put money into OpenAI, other venture capitalists.
Right, so, but the point I'm trying to make is
investors. Carlos.
Microsoft owns Bing.
Bing, yes, they own Bing, which is the search engine.
Right. Okay, so the OpenAI, so the Chat GPT, they're using it on.
It's just code, Bing. Right? It's code that they're connected to Bing.
Right. And I'm thinking to myself, this is not a good look for Bing if You know what I mean? The chat
Yes.
GPT is
No, it is
not.
not. You're right. It's not. So see, that's what I'm saying. Microsoft didn't think that people would do, because you can't predict what the AI is going to do because it's built on what you put in.
And you can't predict how people will use it.
Right.
Right.
Which is why they released it as a test to see
Right.
what would happen.
Right. And so wow.
So
I'm going to my Bing
comments over here. He
Huh?
says when you were talking about what was going on in the movie, he says how from
For 2010.
Right. I was like, wait, now you just gonna start taking over stuff.
Yes. And then he says that Musk invested, then said it would destroy the world. Well, that's not very confidence building from someone who's trying to do autopilot on my car. Okay, then Microsoft, it says here, has a license.
They have a license to use it. Yeah.
And his comment here, Microsoft knew that if you talk too long to it, it can go off the rails. So they may have a time limit. Now that makes sense. If you know it's going to get really confused, you may want to limit the time.
This is not news to Microsoft and Google and all. They know this. This is why it's in the wild being tested. Everything is beta now. This is all beta. So now they know by us using it, the limitations or where it's going to go or whatever. That's why it's not available to everybody. That's why there's a wait list.
I don't want my rocket scientists using this.
You don't want what?
I don't want my rocket scientists.
No, people who are like rocket scientists and most of those people that are in that kind of area, they're not going to rely on Chat GPT because they know that it will bring false or misinformation or stuff that's not true. They know that. This is for us in the wild to use. There's not rocket scientists and people. There are people using it to write code for different things, but a real coder is not going to use this to write code. And Carlos has a big comment there.
Okay, he says, keep in mind that it combines information from all of the internet. The more you ask, the more data it tries to use to randomize the data. Eventually, it will reach bad info.
Yes, because it's not pulling information out of the air. It's pulling information that's been stored for as long as information has been stored. Books, articles, whatever's been on the internet and off the internet that has been digitized, it pulls that information. And I saw one of the stories that they asked Chat GPT about that, and Chat GPT told them in a rational fashion, where it gets the information from. It's Bing that's going off the rail, not Chat GPT. Bing is doing this.
Right. And so, and therefore, and then they want to know why we will not use Bing as our primary search engine.
Right. Bing has 3% of the market. Now,
stop hating on Sydney.
Now, see, the thing is, remember, Fred asked last week how you can get in the bars. You can't. This is why. Google says no, it's not available to the public yet because they know all of this stuff. They know this stuff. They know this.
And it's the same reason why. So Terry made mention of the self-driving cars. It's not going to be launched out until they can get it so that it acts like a human.
Yeah.
And it cannot act and respond like a human yet. So they're not going to put it out, even though people they said it was supposed to be out. Okay, look,
people, come on,
just wait. And I agree with Google that wait until you get it right before you let it out.
Right. So see, Microsoft was all gun-ho. We are ready. We putting ours out, and this is what's happening. Versus Google did, said we have Bard, and they had like a little GIF or example of what it released, and then people were like, oh, well, Google's not ready. But Google's like, we already know this, so we're holding our Bard AI tool back from beta testing with the public because we know this. And plus, they're gonna sit back and let Microsoft take all the slings and arrows first.
Yes.
And then like,
Carlos is scaring me with this comment. He says, also keep in mind that you will eventually have something like this with an Echo style device, and you can have both AIs chat, Google and Bing, and nuclear war will occur. No, I rebuke that right now. I am not receiving that.
Does anybody remember the movie with Matthew Broderick and him and the girl, they broke in to see this professor who had built this thing and NORAD was using it?
I think I remember that.
It was in the 80s.
Yes.
And the NORAD had this big giant computer with the little lights, and then we need to watch that again.
Really? Do we?
It was scary because what happened was NORAD, which is the part of the government, that has the nuclear warheads and stuff, that they were using the software that the professor had wrote, and the thing went off the rails.
He said the name of the movie is War Games.
Yes, War Games. Thank you, Carlos. That's it. I'm gonna rewatch that this weekend, and that's what happened. And what happened was the thing was going to set off a nuclear war against like Russia or China or something, and it had a stop, a timer to when everything was going to go off, and they had to figure out how to stop the thing. This is reminding me of that.
Yeah, now, Google did lose $1 billion on that demonstration. Their stock just went.
Yeah, we talked about that. That they lost 100. Was it 100 billion?
Right, but it's not like they didn't have it, and then they're still the number one search engine.
Right,
they really didn't lose.
They didn't lose anything.
So Bing.
Right. So last week I was kind of mad with Google because like, why didn't they let theirs out in a while? But now a week later. We see.
You see the wisdom in it. Yeah.
Right. So Google has 97% of the search engine market. They really don't have to release this thing because they know it's not ready for prime time. Microsoft wants to get more search engine share, so they put theirs out. But now you see what's happening.
Yeah, Google said, "Oh no, just hold up."
Yes, Carlos, the movie. Would you like to play? Yeah, would you like to play a game? Is what happened at the end. It's a good movie. I want to watch it again. I think I'm trying to remember what year it was.
Hold on a minute, because I just saw it.
And Carlos says so. Google. He said so. Google farted an extra $1 billion back, and remember, Google that billions that they lost, they made that back up in like less than a day because they're trillion dollar company. So yes, this is what's going on with the AI wars.
Mm-hmm.
This is what's going on now.
When you notice that. Canva ain't got no, it's not having no problem.
Right, because see, Canva's using, most of them are using the API chatbot GTP AI API. So they're just connecting the chatbot and using, Chat GPT and just using it. Bing is a different story because it's a search engine, and Microsoft is trying to shoehorn it into the search engine. That's the difference. That's the difference.
And trying to make us.
They want more market share of the search engine market.
If you want to use Chat GPT in Bing, you're going to need to make Bing your primary, whatever. So, that is not happening.
It came out of one of the executives' mouth. We are prioritizing those with Bing and Edge as a default search engine and browser, as well as installing the Bing mobile app. Now, those people get priority.
So here's the thing. There's a reason why we do not install Edge as the primary browser. There's a reason why we do not have Bing as the primary search engine.
Who heard of it before this? Really? I mean, if you're not in the tech world or you follow tech news or stuff like that, you don't even know what Bing. You're like, what is that? Because most people use Google, right?
Mm-hmm.
We Google things. We don't Bing things.
Right. And Carlos says Notion is launching AI also. Yes, Notion, a lot of platforms that do tasks and things like that. You're going to see AI or Chat GPT or any this kind of thing is going to be integrated in any kind of platform you're using now. But realize they're using a version of Chat GPT, not Bing, because Bing is a search engine. It's a different animal. That's why this thing is going off the rails like that. If you go to Chat GPT from OpenAI, if you go to the website and you type in something, you're going to get normalcy.
Thank you. Because I'm like, oh my gosh.
But see, these are the people that are using Bing. And remember, Bing, you're on the wait list. I've been on like a week and a half. I'm still not in. So I don't know what is, I can't test it out.
Says he uses Netscape and Yahoo. Okay. Wow.
Okay, so speaking of that, there's some more news from Microsoft. They are sunsetting Instagram, Internet Explorer 11. So this was a once dominant browser, and now it is no more. It is official. They announced it last summer that they were going to Microsoft closed down Internet Explorer 11. It was launched in 1995. It was once the dominant internet browser. In 2003, it controlled 95% of the browser market. So last summer, Statista reported that Google Chrome dominates the browser game now with 60.8% of the market. Safari comes in at 15.22% of the market. Internet Explorer had a 0.78. That was last summer.
Mm-hmm.
So Microsoft is shutting down Internet Explorer, and they're putting all their resources into Microsoft Edge, which is their browser that has Bing.
Okay, let me tell you why this is scary to me, because the state of California used Microsoft Explorer, so I'm wondering if they're going to move to Edge.
Probably, because when you have a Windows machine, I mean, I have one, I rarely use it, but I'll go in and see that Microsoft will probably prompt you to switch over, or it will do a switch over to Edge, because the Microsoft Edge browser is available now. It's been available for a long time. It's just that Internet Explorer was still there. So they're cutting off access, they're shutting it down, so it will just be Microsoft Edge that you're using.
Right.
Which is just based on it's just an updated version of Internet Explorer, the code and everything. So there's not an issue there.
Right. And
so they may migrate everybody over.
Well, if you're on Microsoft, you're going to go on Edge.
Yes, it's going to automatically do. There's nothing to do.
Right. And the challenge is, and I've seen this with helping people who have PCs and stuff. When you go in there and try and maneuver around, it makes it very, like, if you want to make Google your primary browser, it is very difficult for you to select Google as your primary browser from within Edge. And you're in there and you got to go through all of these conniptions to try and turn it on. And then
every time you open the browser, if you've set it to Google, it's gonna do all these things and flip flops to make you go back to Bing.
Right. Wow. And it's not cute. And I was like, okay.
Well, you have to realize that if you're on a Windows PC, that is Microsoft. So why would I allow you or encourage you to use the competitor?
That's what I understand it, but I still get choice. I mean, because I'm on a Mac. But I still have Google as my default browser on something, but it doesn't. Google doesn't.
No, see, Apple's a different ecosystem. Remember, because Apple doesn't mind that you use Chrome instead of Safari, which is a lot of people do. But Microsoft is not like Windows is a different system where they don't like you to do different things and they make it difficult, like you said. So it's just people who use Windows, they're used to that. They're used to the jumping through 20 hoops. When as Apple users, it's like, okay, I ain't got to do all that.
I just got to click. Yeah.
Right.
It's
Right.
terrible. Okay.
Oh my
So
God.
that's what it is. And trust, Windows users are used to that. They're used to that. So they're just gonna, whatever, just go over to Microsoft Edge and use Bing. And if they're really die hard like tech people, they will do that conversion to what they want. But Windows, you just go in and it's just okay. You gotta use Edge, and you go okay. Apple, you go like, I want to use what I want, and Apple says okay, click and we're not gonna bother you. Right?
Yep. It's really interesting. It's too much. I was like, oh.
And once you leave Windows behind and you go to Apple, you're like, okay, everything's one click, this, that, and the other. Everything's seamlessly integrated. And then if you have to go back to Windows to do something, or, like you said, you had to help a client, you're going like, what in the world are all these wires back here? Gotta plug, and red and green and blue and gray and orange and this. And you're like, take me back to Apple, please.
Yeah,
that's true.
Even our clients sometimes who are used to PC or Microsoft, we tell them to get on Chrome, get a Chromebook, because that whole situation is not cute.
Right.
Chromebook is easier than
right. But see, you understand that Microsoft their money is making in cloud services and also business services. A lot of corporations, they use Windows. The government uses Windows. The last time I knew they used Windows.
Last time I did too.
Right. Yeah. So that's where the Microsoft Windows thing comes from. But if you're buying a computer for the home, most people, when they find out that Apple's so easy to use and integrated and this and that, they usually gravitate towards that. I know there's a price point, but I'm not going to discuss that. But it's just that Windows is more integrated as business solutions, business systems, because they've been using it for years. When did Windows 95 come out and all that other stuff? And there was the big brouhaha, and people were running to the stores and getting the box of Windows 95. Remember that? So
yeah, I remember. It's like why? And because at one point Apple came out first, and people were using Apple, and then Windows came out, like you said, with Windows 95, and they tried to make it mainstay, right. And oh my gosh.
Right. Carlos says, so think about this. AI in your productivity apps and basically tells you how to be successful business simply by referencing millionaires. I am in it. And then he says, I have both, but also almost never use Windows. I have both too. Like I have a Windows laptop. I have a Windows computer. I never turn this thing on gathering dust. But when I need to look up something for Windows, I just pull the laptop out and start looking at it. And then it's like you said, it's like, okay, you got to set your default this and you got to do that. And don't you want to use Microsoft Edge? I'm like, no. Let me out of here. Let me get to Chrome, and I got to do what I got to do, and let me get out of here.
And that was the other thing. It was not an easy fix. Like somebody was like, I need to get onto the internet. That is the most difficult thing on a PC, to actually get to the internet.
Mm-hmm. Windows is 20 steps. Apple is one.
I was like,
rarely two. Always one. Always one.
Click. Which one of these? Which one of your, which internet are you trying to get a hold to? Click and you're in. Not with.
Carlos says, I actually use my iPad more than anything. Yup. Including 4K video editing with an external hard drive. See, and then Apple has the new thing where I was using it, and it kind of got me annoyed. The mouse moving between the iMac and the iPad,
where you can go across.
Yeah, but because I have my laptop over here, So I have to close my laptop, or I turned it off, but I was closing my laptop because I was trying to click the edge here and it went over there. I'm like, no, don't do that. But that's the thing that Apple is trying to do, trying to be helpful. But there's always a way to turn it off or to, to fix it. So, but everything's usually one click, which is pretty good.
Yeah, painless.
Yes, painless. And Windows is like I remember when we had to support, we supported Windows. When I was at the EPA, that was like all these things that I had to keep in mind, or we had a knowledge base or database. Okay, how do you do this? Blah blah blah. Click click. Step. It was like always like 10 steps. And then we moved, and then I got Apple at home. I was like, oh well, I don't have to do all of those juggle the things and like I said, the wires that you got to put in. It's just one thing with Apple. So, Carlos says, I would love to announce what I've been working on, including podcasts and much, much more. Yeah, this you should come on Monday, right?
Yeah, Carlos, you can come in on a Monday and join us.
You had the whole thing to yourself.
You can take a seat and tell us about it.
You jump in a box here, and you can say what you got to say.
Yay! So let us know, and we will send you a link, get you in here on a Monday. Yeah, because this is AI.
Yeah, so this is the beginning of, like I said, the AI wars, the bot wars. I think I put it on one of my stories a week ago or something. But so it's going to be more of this. It's going to be more of Bing saying and crazy stuff, and people getting scared. And there's a professor that was writing about this, and I just found him today. I forgot his name, and I wanted to go and investigate and see what he said about what we're in now. He called it. He kind of predicted it. So forgot his name. Sir Timothy something. I gotta find the article.
This is the one that they fired?
No. That guy, I have his name because I when I copied it has his name. That was Google engineer Blake Lemoine, Lemoine, and I saw his tweets last year when he said that. So I already know about it because it was a discussion last year, and it kind of died down because they were like, oh, he got fired, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Oh, the bot's not sentient, is not sentient. And now here we are almost a year later, and the guy was like, see, I told you. So because they were saying, he had sour grapes because he was fired and all this. I have to go back and look at the thread, but it was on Twitter that I saw it, so that was a good thing about Twitter.
Yeah, because see, here's the thing: when the guy gets fired and they hushing him up, those are the people you need to listen to. Because
he wanted to sound the alarm. He said, "I'm here to sound the alarm," and people was like trying to hush him and poo-poo, and you don't know what you're talking about because you got fired. All right, so let's move on from the chat bot wars. There'll be more next week. So let's talk about Pinterest. Pinterest expanded idea pin video length to 5 minutes. Now remember their idea pins, that's their TikTok like video feed where you can the limit was 60 seconds on the video. So it's like TikTok and Reels, but it's in Pinterest. But now they've expanded the video length to 5 minutes. So this is another way to maximize engagement with your content on Pinterest. You'll have more capacity to tell a story within your idea pins. And Pinterest says they serve over 1 billion video views per day. Yeah. So idea pins came out in 2021. All right. So if you're on Pinterest, and I have to spend more time with it. I haven't. It's just
I have not been over there in several years.
Yeah, I have the app. The app's fun.
I do have an account. Yeah.
So we might need to investigate that, but we'll see. Also, Pinterest has introduced Pinterest Academy. It's an interactive e-learning platform designed for advertisers to engage and inspire their target audience. So it's a platform with 14 courses with 30 lessons that cover foundational knowledge, Pinterest, Pinterest ad formats, and how to use the on-platform measurement tools. So this Pinterest Academy is for advertisers to learn how to uh make get better engagement and get more from their ads. Now I don't know if it's not. I don't know. I think it's free. So here's the quote from the head of global business marketing at Pinterest. We created Pinterest Academy to help brands, agencies, and marketers alike harness the unique intent and buying power of people on Pinterest and understand how to unlock the full potential of their campaign on the platform. So if you're looking to run ads on Pinterest, they've got a school for you. All right, moving on to Snapchat. Snapchat says they reach 750 million monthly active users. So they had an investor day event on Thursday. They shared a lot of information. They're saying that Snap CEO Evan Spiegel said the app reaches more than 3/4 of 13 to 34-year-olds in more than 20 countries, and users post more than 5 billion snaps every day. Snapchat Plus subscription has more than 2.5 million members just over 7 months after it went live. More than 30 million people use the Snap Map every month. So where's Snap seeing the most growth though? It's not in the US. It's in India. India. Now remember, India does not have TikTok.
Yes.
They haven't had it for 3-4 years. So they need someplace to go. And these are Gen Z. So Gen Z loves Snapchat. It's just, one of the things. So also Snapchat's strength, and I think where they're going to have more revenue is the AR tools that they use, and they turn that into shopping experiences. Remember we talked last week about the Super Bowl, the lenses, and you could try on the jerseys, the team jerseys, and then they had a link to buy them. Then they had the Halloween try on costumes, and then they had the link to buy them. They had a bunch of stuff where you try on AR and then you have the link to buy. So I think that's going to be a way for them to increase their revenue. Snap is also launched something called communities. This is targeted toward private groups where members can add friends and post to a shared campus story. This is linked to colleges and high schools because this is the age group. So they're saying this has launched with colleges and high schools and will roll out to more communities. So far, there are over 1,400 colleges in the U.S. with access to communities. Let's see, just a couple things. Talking about the AR part of it, they're saying since 2021, more than 250 million users engaged with AR shopping lenses more than 5 billion times. On over 5 billion snaps are created every day on average. 88% of users who use Snap or chat with a friend will use the app every day for the next 7 days. So they put out some stats. That was a couple of Snapchat users share memories with friends 280 million times per day on average. U.S. users open Snapchat 40 times per day on average. Over 60% of users who open Snapchat each day create snaps. So they put out some, like a list of things, metrics and numbers that they've gone through. So that's Snapchat. They're doing their little thing over there, and it looks like Snapchat Plus is plugging along. Remember, Snapchat Plus is where you can change the color of the app and, change you change the Bitmoji or something it does. It doesn't really do much. Okay, so let's move on to, I think that one's old. Let me see. Yeah, I think that one's old. Let me go. I didn't get a chance to. Oh, YouTube. Let's talk about YouTube. YouTube has some news today. YouTube is here we go. Oh, I thought I put something else in there. Let's do that. YouTube adds shorts as comment replies. So what's going on is that you can reply to a short in the comments. Instead of typing out a comment, you can reply with your own shorts. So you can add short clips as comment replies in stream, providing another way to utilize shorts within the engagement process. This is similar to TikTok's video reply option. YouTube says the functionality is rolling out to creators on iOS only this week. Android is coming in the coming will be coming soon in the few months.
Hmm.
YouTube is also adding data stories for posts, which will provide more insight into how your YouTube content is performing. So these data stories, think of the data stories is similar to Spotify. Remember at the end of the year, Spotify tells you how many
Oh.
what's your top 5 songs, how many times you played this artist. So they're doing that. That's their data stories, but this is going to be not a end of year thing. It's
Mhm.
going to be more of a analytics, visual analytics. So they're explaining it. It provides quick snapshots of various aspects of channel performance. So if you have a YouTube channel, you know there's a lot of analytics in there. And some people are, get overwhelmed with all of that numbers and stuff. So they're trying to make a more visual snapshot of what's going on with your YouTube channel. That's what it is. Also, YouTube is adding in capacity for subscribers of a channel to become a channel member direct from the shorts feed. So what does that mean? I was like, why did they write it like that? It just means you can join or subscribe to someone's channel on through the shorts feed. They're just making it easier for you instead of going to the channel and then you got to hit subscribe. So they're saying the join button will show the subscribers on Android and iOS. The goal is to give more subscribers of a channel the opportunity to support a creator through channel memberships.
Right. And that's like you can pay $5 a month or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you can become a channel member right from if you have a membership set up, instead of going to the actual person's YouTube channel, like their whole page, you can do it from the short. So this is a shortcut. And one thing, it was the CEO of YouTube, I forgot her name, Susan something. She's stepping down. She was I think she was CEO for 25 years.
Mhm.
She
Didn't she
started out with
resign?
Google.
Mhm.
What's that?
Well, okay, so this is YouTube's 18th birthday.
No, she was with Google.
Google, yes.
Right, not YouTube.
Right.
She was with Google, and then when they got YouTube, she headed it. Right.
Yeah, I'm just saying Google's birthday was on the 15th. They turned 18.
Right.
And I was like, I thought YouTube has been around a lot longer, but
YouTube has been around a lot longer, but it wasn't owned by Google when it first came out.
Right. So our tech history thing is they came out in February 15, 2005.
Okay.
So they've only been around 18 years. And I'm thinking, man, it seemed like y'all been here a long time, but
I know, right?
They got bought.
I can't remember her name, Susan Wojciechowski or something like that. She's stepping down, and her deputy, the number 2 under her, is stepping up.
Okay.
Okay, this is a quick little one from Apple. Apple is bringing out 31 new emojis in iOS 16.4. They're having some emojis heart. So they're going to have variations on the heart emoji. They're going to have different colors. I thought they had different colors. Okay, so I thought they did, but they're saying that they're going to variations on the heart emoji, including the much in demand pink heart plus versions in blue and gray. That's what they're saying here. Also, they're adding a shaking face emoji, which will likely be used as I'm shook. They're also adding donkey, moose, goose, jellyfish, and a wing. Also different. They're adding food and drink like hyacinth, pea pod, ginger, folding hand fan, hair pick, a whole bunch of them. So if you want to look at it, you can go to is it Emojipedia? You can see them there. That's where the article came from. Emojipedia. So if you want to, they're not going to be released yet, but if you want to play with them now, you have to download the iOS 16.4 beta 1 release. So they're saying the public release is expected to arrive sometime in April. That's from Apple. Now let's move on to Twitter. All right, so Twitter is opening its advertising platform to cannabis companies. Excuse me. Twitter is loosening its advertising policies to allow cannabis companies to promote their brands on Twitter.
Say
So
what?
cannabis advertising on Twitter.
On Twitter.
Right. So Twitter is the first major social media platform to welcome cannabis ads within the United States. So this is because Twitter needs money.
Really bad, evidently.
Yeah, because their regular advertisers have flown the coop. Muskie. All right, so another thing from Muskie, Mr. Twitter, he got mad because his tweets weren't getting engagement. I think we talked about that last week. So he has tweaked the algorithm of Twitter.
What?
To boost his tweets above all other accounts.
Okay.
The reason why? There's a reason why.
Why?
He was frustrated that his tweet about who he was supporting in the Super Bowl was outperformed by a similar tweet from President Joe Biden.
This is about the Super Bowl? Really? Bless his heart.
But see, the thing is, if you block Muskie, I blocked him. We still gonna see his tweets.
Because the rules don't apply to him.
He owns it. He can do what he wants with it.
You get to do what you want.
So they're saying, okay, so he wants to change the narrative through brute force, bombarding users with his tweets by artificially boosting the display of his tweets by a factor of 1,000, enabling the flooding of feeds with his thoughts. Some users say they still see his tweets despite blocking his account because he has a special algorithm where you will see his tweets even though you blocked him.
He's circumventing the system. Okay.
He owns it.
Okay.
This is what he does. So
and it's free. So there you go.
This is what's happening in Muskland. Muskie got mad because we're not paying attention to his tweets like before, like last year before he bought it. Like he was, everybody. I can't. I just listen. I'm bringing the Twitter news. I still use Twitter, not as much as before. I'm balancing between Twitter and Spoutable. A lot more people joining Spoutable. So, but they got some growing things.
Some growing
too. But
going on, yeah.
It's gonna be like, okay, when Twitter goes down, because the car it still has gas. It lost 70% of the employees. Something's happening that is still going. But I think what this shows you is that Twitter can. It's been established 2006. It's a platform that can run on autopilot, which it is. Does not, and also I think a lot of people aren't using it, so it's they didn't need all those employees to make it run. It's still running. It just has to run out of gas. When that will happen, I thought it was going to be the end of last year, but he's still got gas. So, what do you think? What about this latest thing?
Bless him, and maybe a blessing to his children. I just I don't know what else to say. I just have a real problem with people insisting that they be in my face when I'm supposed to be able to have a choice. But hey, like I said, he owns it. He can do whatever he wants.
He can do whatever he wants. I'm just letting you know this is what's going on. All right, let's move on to Instagram. They had some activity this week. They've launched a new broadcast chat feature called Channels. So Zuckerberg announced this week the company is launching a new broadcast chat feature on Instagram called Channels. It's a one-to-many messaging tool that allows creators, to engage directly with their followers. Creators can use the channels to help keep their followers updated and share behind the scenes moment using text, photo, video, voice notes, and polls.
We don't already have that?
No, no,
That's not
Wait.
stories. What is that?
no. Okay, let me give you a little bit
Yeah.
more, and then we'll
Can
talk
you
about it.
distinguish between the two? Go ahead.
So once the channel is created by a content creator, all their followers will get a one-time notification to join the channel, after which followers can become a part of the channel using the join channel sticker in stories or by clicking the link to the channel in their bio. Creators with subscribers can also set the broadcast channel to only paid subscribers. Once you join the channel, it will appear in your inbox next to other message threads. Followers can only react to the messages on the group and vote in polls, but cannot send any messages. Instagram plan to add more features to this, such as the ability to bring another creator into the channel to discuss upcoming collabs and collect questions for an AMA, Ask Me Anything type of question prompts. All right, so the company plans to bring the feature to Messenger and Facebook in the coming months. So let's talk about this. Do you know how Telegram works? Anybody? The app
really.
Telegram?
I'm just figuring Telegram just worked like another
Messaging
You know how
messaging app.
right? You know, Mighty Networks. And think of anything where there's a group channel and the owner of the group gets to send out messaging. That's what this is. They put Telegram inside of Instagram. So it is a group feature separate from the feed, separate from the story, separate from the DMs, but it will be located in your inbox. So it's like a message from another person, but it's a large group. So I let me see.
So is it like Facebook groups with
Yeah.
It's like Facebook groups, but not in the way that you're thinking. So Adam Mosseri, he announced this yesterday, and he said, "Okay, join my channel. It's called IG Updates." He has a link. I think it is stories. I forgot where it was. So when I joined it, when I clicked on it, I went in and it said, "Oh, you're a part of." I forgot what it said exactly, but you're a part of IG Updates, a channel by Adam Mosseri. So it shows up in your inbox where all the other messages are in Instagram.
Okay.
But when you tap on it, it says the name of the channel, IG Updates, broadcast. 45 right now. It's at 45,000 members. When I looked at it this morning, it was like 20. There's a link to invite other people to come into the update. I mean, into the broadcast channel. There's a button with details that it's like a profile, a small profile. For him, it says IG Updates. It has an invite link, and then it shows the people who own, like the owner of it, who can message. It says Adam Mosseri, and I'm following him. Okay. So also below that, anything he's posted. So he posted a video, and if I tap on the video button in this profile within the channel, I get to see anything that he's posted. So he did post a video, like saying what it was. Let me play it.
Channels are brand new. Waiting for creators to directly reach their followers. And this one's going to be called Instagram Updates. I'm going to share new product announcements, insights into how we're making decisions and why, cool content and cool creators from time to time. We're just starting now with a handful of creators to see how this product works. So let us know what you think. But we hope to expand it over time as we figure out how best to use this. So stay tuned. Peace.
So that's the little video, and it replays until I close it. So this is what it looks like. If you can, I wanted to hook it up.
Yeah, we can.
You can see it.
Yeah,
so it just looks like a regular thing that you're used to in Instagram. But think of it as a group, because remember, Instagram had something called close friends. I think they still have it, but it had a limit.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could make a group, but it had a limit. This one seems to have no limit because he's up to 45,000, and I don't think the other things that they had to send group messages allowed that many users. So that's why they're calling it broadcast. That's why they're calling it a broadcast channel. All right, so this is another place to gather people.
I'm exhausted. Go ahead.
So remember, Instagram, when you go into Instagram, you see the feed. That's where people post public. Oh, and here we go. I gotta turn the sound down. Ugh, I hate when that happens. So when you go on the Instagram, you get the feed of people you follow. Those are people that have posted carousels, photos, and reels and videos. They show up in your feed. Then at the top, you have stories, which is a separate area where people can send, put things for their followers, because stories aren't public. You have to follow a person to see the stories. Then there's the DM section, direct message. That's one-on-one messaging. Now they've added one-to-many messaging with this broadcast channel. That's what it is. So that's what I was saying. If you've used a WhatsApp group, if you've used Telegram, if you've used Signal, if you've used Mighty Networks as an app, all of those things, it's a group of people. It's not public. You have to join. With Telegram, there's a button that says join. Mighty Networks, you have to join. So when you join that group, you get to see messages for that group. So that's why it is like a Facebook group, but not really. You can put video in, what does it say? Video, text. Let me go back. Okay, here, text, images, polls, reactions, voice notes. So any of the things that you can message people with in Instagram will be in this group. And it can be a free group or it could be paid. Because if you have the subscription part already set up, and this is creators. Here's another thing. Because I tried to join, there's a wait list to join to test, to be able to set it up. There's only about 10 or so Instagram creators, and I'm saying creators because they're doing creators account. If you're a business account, you will not get access to this, because I tried today. I tried on several accounts. It's saying it gave me an error message saying I cannot join, because he's using the words creators. So in Instagram, you either have I forgot what is, you can have a creator account or business account. Two separate things. Instagram sees that as. So you have to be a creator to get on the wait list. They may allow business accounts to join later, because he said creators. He specifically said creators several times. The CEO said. So that was my key. I was like, okay, they're not letting businesses get on this, because with Meta, if you're a business, you should be running ads. That's their first thing. When you have a page, you should be running ads. If you have a business account on Instagram, you should be running ads. That's their view of it. So that's why he said Instagram creators, which is a different animal. Those are influencers. So those people get creator accounts and they get business like things with their account, but they're not a business account, because Instagram says if you're a business account, you should be running ads because you're a business. We're not gonna give you this. That's why Instagram with trying to use music, a lot of it isn't licensed for business accounts because you're a business. That's how Meta sees us. If you're a business, you should be running ads, because that's how we make money. We're not going to give you the things we give the creators, because they aren't businesses. Those are influencers. See? So there is a link to join the wait list, because he sent it to me inside of this channel. And let me tap on it so I can tell you exactly what it says. So he says, any create, and here's the wording, because I'm emphasizing this. And for any creators interested in receiving early access to channels, you can sign up for the wait list here. And there's a link. So when I tap on it, it goes to request early access to broadcast channels on Instagram. Broadcast to an unlimited audience, control who you can message, stay kind and respectful. There's a blue button that says request early access. When I tap on it, it says can't submit request. Broadcast channels aren't available to everyone yet. And it's just an okay button. So I cannot get on the wait list to start my own broadcast channel. Okay, does that clear it up?
Mm-hmm.
Do we look?
Because he said, and you, especially with this guy, you have to pay attention to exactly what he says. He says creators.
Mm-hmm.
And you're thinking, oh, I got an Instagram account. It's a business account, but I'm a creator. No, you're not. You're a business. So we're not going to get access to this thing right away. I just had a feeling. Because he kept saying creators. I'm like, okay, that means something.
Mm-hmm.
They're putting influencers, and the list of people who are testing it, all are influencers, different types. I think it was at least 10 or 12 on the list. And when I went to their, because they have a link to their accounts, when I went to their accounts, I could see, where they have in their bio, join my broadcast channel, or in their stories, they make a story with a big sticker that says join my broadcast channel, or they can make a link, join my broadcast channel, and it goes to a separate area within Instagram. So think of that. This is a separate area within Instagram. Because I know it sounds confusing. I was trying to clear it up. Does everybody get it?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. So I don't know if we want to create a new channel and sign up as a new Instagram. I might do it. I was thinking of it today, making a new creator Instagram and seeing if I could get into the wait list, but that's just me trying it.
Yeah, well, I'm playing with us right now because
did you see it?
It said, I went under category to find out because how do you identify, and it had blogger, something, digital creator, and I just clicked digital creator and let's see what happens.
Right. Because see, if you classify yourself as a business, and remember, Instagram connects, if you have a Facebook page and a business page, it connects it together and it knows that you're a business account.
Mm.
But I think in Instagram, you can swap back and forth between creator and business account, but I don't think you really want to do that if you do using it as a business account. So that's why I was saying I might make up a new Instagram and just.
Well, look, I'm just playing with it. And they keep changing stuff. We can keep changing stuff.
But I was just like, okay, remember when he says something deliberately when he repeats something, I'm like, that meant something. So he kept saying creators. And I was like, okay, that's the type of account that you have to have. Broadcast. A creator account. Because Meta sees you differently if you have a business page and a business Instagram account. It's a classification.
Yeah, we're gonna play with it and see what happens.
Okay, so just a couple of quick ones from Instagram. Instagram is testing new memory prompt to reignite user engagement. They're putting something out called a memory story prompt. It shows up in your feed, so it's just pointing you to your archive. Excuse me, your story archive, so you can reshare it. Okay. It's similar to the Facebook on this day prompt. So if when you're in Facebook and you go your page, your personal page, it says on this day you shared and you can reshare it. That's what they're doing with the memory story, the memories. Also, Instagram is announcing the removal of live stream shopping elements. So remember, they had a whole big push about live stream shopping. So they're abandoning its live shopping push on Instagram, and also they pulled out a live shopping on Facebook last summer. So they're saying starting on March 16th, 2023, Instagram users will no longer be able to tag products while live streaming, a capability that has been broadly available to U.S. businesses and creators since 2022. So remember, TikTok took their live stream shopping thing away, where you could buy or tag within the live stream, because it's really not working. So they're taking that option out. You can still shop on Instagram if you set up an Instagram shop. It's just that when you do a live stream, you can't just tag it to where people can buy during the live the live stream. Okay, so also remember, Meta's looking to cut costs. They've gotten rid of not gotten rid of. They've laid off several thousand workers, and they had their last quarterly earnings wasn't great, so they're trying to cut costs.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so one more TikTok, real important with TikTok. The two senators are pressuring CFIUS, which is the Committee on Foreign Investments in the U.S., to to wrap up the investigation of TikTok. So two senators sent a letter to the head of CFIUS urging them to swiftly conclude this investigation and impose strict structural restrictions between TikTok's American operations and its Chinese parent company ByteDance, including potentially separating the company. So these two senators wrote a letter saying, hurry up and ban this app. Basically, that's what it is. So remember, TikTok, they found out that TikTok employees had spied on American journalists. There was some audio that said ByteDance employees access U.S. access data. Remember, over in Europe, they told them straight out, if you use the app, we're spying on you. So some of these things are coming up. And then remember that we've had these the spy balloons. They shot down several, at least 4. They said
they're still handling stuff over there.
And realize the balloons are the size of cars and buses. They're not just a little helium balloon. They're large items. So what they're doing is they're testing. This is what I read, is they're testing the wind speed. They're testing all kind of things because they might want to, do some nefarious stuff. So they're testing different things. We don't know. Well, they know. The government knows because they shot it down and they looked at it. But they're China's sending these things over to test, and they're saying it might be more than China. It might be other countries with these balloons. So tie that in with the TikTok thing, and so you got a little anticipation of let's stop this spying and surveillance because it's a threat to national security. So this CFIUS, Committee on Foreign Investments in the U.S. So, and they're calling the CEO ByteDance to the table, and they're trying to figure out how to separate U.S. data from their data and all that stuff. So it's ongoing.
I would say if it's concern to you, turn off TikTok. Just don't use it, especially if you're not using it anyway.
Right.
Turn it off.
Right.
And because of the same situation that you used to have, the apprehension that you had with WhatsApp, and people began being able to access stuff just because the app was on the phone.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Yeah. No, ding ding. Take
that's the
off.
thing. You're thinking, well, how is the app spying on me? Well, it has access to your phone. So if you have banking apps, it could possibly have access to your banking app. It has access to your geolocation, where you are. Now you might say, well, I'm not anybody that they're concerned with. That's not their thinking. They just want data. That's why they're sending the balloons over. They want data on Americans. What they're doing with it, we don't know, because it's China. So think about the history between the U.S. and China, history between U.S. and Russia. We talked about this, I think, on one of the Tuesday shows about propaganda and the war and World War II and all. So all of that ties into it, because you're thinking it's innocent, but it's really not. So this is what's going on.
So you have choices to make. We bring you information so that you can make a decision.
Yes, make your own decision. Here's the information. You decide what to do with it. We're not recommending you do whatever, but I'm just like I've deleted TikTok a while. On
I
my
have
phone.
too. TikTok is not on my phone.
Yeah, I have another phone that's not, it doesn't have anything on it. I might put it on that, but I don't know. I haven't missed it. Haven't missed it. So just
And
be
it's
getting ready.
for me, it's less noise because TikTok was another
Yes,
avenue.
another that you get stuck in, another loop that you got stuck in because I found the lady with the squirrel. Dressing up the squirrel. Like, how do you make a pet of a squirrel? But lots of people doing it. So that's just what the latest what's going on with TikTok. So
wow.
And that is your social media news update for this week.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
and this stuff is necessary to talk about because there's stuff happening.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be aware of Chat GPT. Okay. Now Bing and its little adventures. You need to know what's happening so that, when somebody brings something to you, you're aware and you're like, oh no, on BizChicks, we talked about that. So
yeah, we're talking about it. It's news.
Just make some wise decisions. Woo. Okay.
All right. Well, Dr. Tachi is still out of town, so we wish her well in her endeavors. My goodness, there was so much. That was a really good conversation about Bing. I was stunned when I heard the news reports. And thank you everyone for participating in the
Carlos has a comment
conversation.
there.
Mm-hmm. He says, can one of you send me a message?
So for the Monday show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll send you a link, Carlos.
Okay.
This was good information today.
There was much more. There's much more, but I was like, okay, we got to keep it. gotta keep a handle on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is major stuff because just the information, the little bit that we got today, how people are, you don't need to be scared.
No. And the chatbot AI there are lots of stories. There are lots of journalists, tech journalists writing stories like the New York Times, and there's so many, The Verge, TechCrunch, everywhere. There's somebody because those are the people that are testing Bing, especially. So that's why we're getting all these horror stories, and I'm calling it dark Bing. It's like, oh, it's really dark.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot, but it's the Chat GPT and the generative AI and the Bing versus Bard stories. There's a lot of those. You're gonna see a lot more because it's one of the hot news items for this year. It's like boom, it just took off. So
wow.
Just get ready for more. You're gonna be sick of hearing. I'm sick of hearing about Chat GPT. Gonna be more.
Righty, guys, we are going to get ready to adjourn here. But we want you to know that if you're looking to be a part of the BizChicks community, you can go to bizchicks.net, open up a profile. We'd love for you to be a part of our community. Or you can join BizChicks by texting biz to 33777. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. Thank you so much, TJ, for bringing us this information today. If you're looking to connect with TJ, you can connect with her at terryjohnsononline.com/info.
Yeah.
Also, you can find her everywhere on the net under Terry Johnson Online. We'd love for you to connect and support one another. With that, we want to remind you it's okay to make money in your business. So go to the front of your own line. Have a great day. We'll see you Monday. Bye bye, everyone.